Fantasy Blind Spot, where we shine the light on what you can't see. He's a cornerstone piece. He's a guy you're going to want on your fantasy team.
It's all about them splash plays.
Oh my God, did that just happen? I can't believe he made that catch.
He's got that big playability.
The football gods made this guy to play football.
All right, so he's just an explosive runner. He's one of those guys that when he gets in the open space, he just puts his foot in the ground and he's gone. Where we shine the light on things you can't see. I am the Blind Guy. You can find me on X at the Blind Guy FF. With me, as always, is my co-host, the crazy Canadian Shawn Thompson. You can find him on X at Maximus8911. Thanks everybody for listening. Remember, hit that like and hit that subscribe. We're coming up on the season, bud. How you doing?
Doing all right. Some football started last night. Some real preseason games, not just the Hall of Fame game where it's like really fourth and fifth string guys. You get to see a little bit of the starters and that, but don't know if you got.
Did you get to catch any? We had some other stuff going on last night, so we didn't get to sit down and actually watch any. But I have, what is that? That NFL Rewind or NFL Plus or whatever it is.
Yep.
So I'm actually it's on my agenda today to watch the Steelers one because it sounds like just from the highlights I was getting that Drew Aller played pretty decent for him.
Yeah, he looked freaking amazing, man. He looked probably 10 times better than what he looked like in college. His footwork was amazing. Like his drop backs on those 3-step drops, 4 5-step drops, 7-step drops, like the ball was out of his hand as soon as his back foot hit that drop.
So good timing and everything.
Yeah, like he looked better than he looked in college. Like he's vastly improved.
And that was one of the things they mentioned at the Combine, if you remember, was him and Carson Beck saying that they both clearly went to work on their footwork, even from the end of the season to the Combine. So I'm happy to hear that. And man, I don't want to get too excited, but like, it's the first time the Steelers have had an offensive head coach, like ever in franchise history. So I'm hoping at least for some good offense, and they have enough talent on the defense to hold it together. But again, it's preseason, and what was that, 2 years ago with the Matt Canada offense when they looked awesome in preseason? I think they went 3-1. Offense was great, and then they didn't score a touchdown for like the first 6 games or something crazy. So we'll see what happens. But I am happy that we do have games all week. And that is so. Jeremiah Love got in last night. Did you get to see any of that?
Yeah, since we're talking about the games, I just figured I'd pull them up. So I got the Steelers ones up here right now.
Okay.
They won 28-9, but Pittsburgh just dominated this game, even when the number ones were in and Green Bay was going with Jordan Love. Samuel made an awesome breakup, which would have been a touchdown for Jalen Reed, kind of on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Drew Aller on this one touchdown pass to Wetjet. He dropped back, hit that 5th step, and then Wetjet was open, and he just freaking ripped the ball on that back throw. Just boom, hit him, and then Wetjet freaking hit the Jets and got a couple good blocks and was able to take it to the house. That was that long touchdown. Plus, he ran one in. Like, who else did I like in that game?
Did he hit Wetjen twice then? Because I thought Wetjen had like a short 4-yard one too around the goal line.
Yeah, he did. But he had a freaking really big long one, like probably I think it was like 58 yards.
Nice. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Like I said, I didn't get to yet, but I kept getting notifications for the scoring, and I just kept seeing the score and like who did it. I'm like, well, this is looking good so far.
Yeah, the Steelers look really good all around. The next game you were talking about was the Cardinals and Jordan Love, so I got that up here. Cardinals won 27-14 in the first half, ended with 14-14. It was just scoring all over. Nobody stopping anybody. Jacoby Brissett actually started out this game, but Jeremiah Love looked freaking fantastic, man, against the ones too. And I know it's against the Raiders. They were like obviously one of the worst teams last year. That's why they had the 1.01 pick, but still got Max Crosby on that line that he was ripping past.
That, and we also think their defense has improved. Not just with the additions they made, but also keeping Crosby after they thought they traded him. So even doing it against that defense, I think that defense is going to be better than it was last year. And last year, their weakness wasn't necessarily their defense. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, and Mike Washington ripped off a big one. I think 48 yards, didn't get a touchdown, but still did flip the field position.
Yeah.
For Arizona, Jalen Brooks, man, 6 for 52 and a touchdown. He was having a good game with once Gardner Minshew came in. Gardner Minshew looked good as well. And then Mendoza, when he came in, man, he's the first 1.01 pick to throw a touchdown in a game, his first game playing. I don't know why they count the preseason stuff, but they do. So he's the first one to ever do it. But the one that he did it to Jack Beck was a tight window in between two defenders on the 5-yard line in, and he just split them and got the ball to him like super quick.
Those are like the toughest throws for rookies to make too.
Yep.
So
he looked decent, but he looked like a rookie at times too. So we'll see. And then even after the presser conference, they're like, no, we want him to sit at least 6 games. So it sounds like Cousins is going to take this starting job to start with. And then it's going to be Mendoza's job to perform in these preseasons if he wants to go week 1 and prove that he can be the starter.
And I think that was their plan all along, was to let him sit as long as they can. And we talked about it when they signed Kirk Cousins. Like, also, I think their early schedule is stupidly difficult. Or is it the opposite, where it's too easy to start? So we were saying
for the Raiders?
Cousins, yeah.
It's super easy, man. So if you go from the first 3 games, I forget who they are, but it's like the New York Jets, freaking like teams like that. Arizona, I think, is one of them.
I think the Dolphins were on there too, if I remember right. Like one of the first 2 weeks.
It's the first 3 games are like that, and then you go into like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah. For your next 3, and then it goes the New York Jets.
You know what might be really fun? What week is that Cincinnati game?
5.
See, that might be fun. It might be a little early, just because that Cincinnati defense, like, yeah, they're probably going to be better than they were last year because it's hard to be worse. But that's also potential offensive shootout if Mendoza is who the Raiders think he is.
Well, would you rather have him do that against the Bengals and be in a shootout where he's going to have to chuck it a lot, or against the Jets? Well, Geno Smith has looked like garbage in training camp, man. Like, he's coming away with more interceptions every day than he is touchdowns.
Which is not good, because that offensive line is good and that defensive line is not as good. So that means...
And especially when Klubnik comes in and he's showing off.
Yeah.
So, like, I think Klubnik might be the week 1 starter if he keeps it up.
See, and that's the thing with Klubnik, too. Sorry, real quick, is that he's also got that mobility. Geno Smith does not have that anymore.
No.
So if he's getting pressure, he can't escape it either.
Nope.
So those are just drive killers.
All right, we'll go on to the next game that we had last night. Was the Bengals versus the Lions. Now, obviously, the Bengals have been saying they're playing their starters this whole way through.
Right.
They were, man. And oh my God, Joe Burrow was like under pressure constantly. He probably would have had a touchdown pass to who's that tight end there, Gesicki. But he got hit on the throw. So the ball was an overthrow. He was like wide open for basically a walk-in. And there was like other times where he's back there and just getting hit. Like, stop listening to Joe Burrow where he says talent can overcome the offensive line problems. Like, work on that line now.
It cannot.
Now it's time to go on this line here, because I'm not too hopeful. I called them number 1 overall. But after watching last night against these Lions, I'm not too hopeful on them finishing first in their division anymore.
Yeah, and it is early. So if you remember last season, the Giants' offensive line in training camp looked holier than Swiss cheese. Like, they couldn't stop anybody. It was just constant pressure in the face of who was it? I'm trying to think of who it was last year before. Oh, Russ, which is also part of the problem, right? Like, Russ just draws pressure because he holds on forever.
Yeah.
But by the end of the season, that offensive line was actually one of the best in the league. So there's a chance it improves, and it is early. But we've been saying forever, they just have not addressed the offensive line. And when they have tried, it was whiffs. Like, Jonah Williams never worked out, right? And he was a first-round pick for them a couple of years ago.
You know who really still out in this game, too? Jacob Sailors, the UFL guy.
Oh, for the Lions?
Yeah, he had something like just under 60 yards on the ground and just under 30 in the air. Like, but every time he touched the ball, it just... And I know he wasn't out there with the ones, obviously, but every time he touched the ball, he was just the best player on the field. So I would like to see Dan Campbell next for preseason game. Give him a couple of chances against the ones. Let's see what he can do. Or even,
rest of the preseason, just throw him out there. Maybe you got a trade chip, or maybe you have an awesome depth piece that you got super cheap.
Well, I think that's one of the things, because he does a lot of kick returns and punt returns too, so I don't see them trading him.
Yeah, that makes sense. And special teams guys are hard to come by too. Like, talented ones like him anyway. That being said, I also think it'd be interesting to see more of these UFL guys in preseason, because that's basically where they're going to show off and thrive, right? Because in a lot of ways, that's what they're experiencing in the UFL. So it's just a regular game for them.
And they're in better shape because they just finished the UFL season before coming over here. So they're already in game shape.
Yep.
All right. Next game we got. I don't know if you saw any of this highlights or scores or whatever, but the Colts versus the Patriots. 13-13. Anthony Richardson had 150 yards, had an interception, which they're trying to say isn't his fault, but he threw the goddamn ball so high. The third string or fifth string wide receiver had to jump up to his max and try to catch the ball reaching for it. So I'm still going to put that on Anthony Richardson. Yeah, it was a well-placed ball. If it was a better wide receiver, like Mike Evans probably would have caught that. Mm-hmm. You know, ones that are used to going up that, but you got to realize who you're throwing the ball to. So Anthony Richardson didn't realize who was throwing the ball to, and that's why it got picked off, because it went off the receiver's hands and into a defender, right?
Okay.
So that's why they're saying it's not his fault. And then right. And then the next time they get the ball, he starts running, and then he fumbled the ball and lost the fumble.
Yeah, which has always been his problem, right? Like, he can't hold on to it when he gets hit and when he throws it.
No, he's got the talent. He just doesn't have the heart or the dog in him, that people like to say. No. Yeah, other than that, there wasn't anything really that stood out to me in this. Nick Bonito looked good. The big thing on this was in that fumble, they called him down, and then Mike Vrabel threw the flag, but like, and he threw that flag like he was throwing to home plate from middle field. And everybody's like, that's what Mike Vrabel looks like throwing his cell phone at 3 a.m. when Domino's.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Not much.
Internet is savage.
The next one we had here last night was the Houston Texans versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Trey Lance played in that game. He had an interception, no touchdowns. Again, he just looks like he's going to be a career backup, if anything. The Texans had all their starters pretty much sitting in this game, so there wasn't really much that stood out to me here.
And I think the Texans have always done that.
Yeah. We talked about the Cardinals one already, so we are on to the last one between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tennessee Titans. So they had, before this game on Wednesday, a joint practice. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
The first 10 minutes of joint practice, there was 4 fights in 10 minutes between these two teams.
Jeez. Which two teams is this again?
Tennessee Titans and the San Francisco 49ers. So apparently the first play, there was a fight. The left tackle got beat so bad by San Francisco's rookie defensive tackle they just picked up in the draft.
Okay.
I think that's who they drafted, wasn't it? No. Oh, Height. Romeo Height.
Yeah, Romello Height.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
just burned the left tackle so bad that he just came right down on Cam Ward, and because it was beat him so bad, it was like, he didn't take him to the ground, but it was still a pretty big hit by the time he got to him because it was so quick. Right. And then that started a fight. The defensive line was just ripping Tennessee right apart. And San Fran, I don't think, played many starters in this game either, because they're just injured all over. Cam Ward looked like garbage, man. 5 for 12. Like, he just, like I thought, like, he's not an NFL quarterback. I didn't think he was worth the 1.01. I'm still sticking with that. He couldn't even find Carnell Tate. He was like just focused on him, man. And there was a defender over top of him and one underneath crossing. Like, one was running with him and the other was coming across. And when he tried to throw to Tate, it was like went off the hands of the middle linebacker of San Francisco.
That's not good.
He just didn't see the second guy covering Tate.
Yeah. Well, it is early, like we said, and learning a new offense. So there is that part of it. But coming into year 2 as an NFL starter, that's not great to start that way.
No, we'll see what the season brings. But, yeah, there wasn't much from Nick Singleton. Striblin had a pretty good game. He went 67 yards or something like that on 7 catches.
No, it can't beat that. That's a good start.
But there's no other wide receivers to throw to. So,
right. I mean, that does make a difference. Is Debo hurt now? I thought I saw him.
I don't think so, but I also don't think
maybe it was a rest day. Yeah. One of the things I think we can also take away from preseason is these joint practices and like which players are running which, because those are the controlled environment where these coaches are saying, okay, let's see what you can do in this situation, where the games are kind of just, you never really know what's going to happen. And it seems like the starters are more in the practices. But
Yeah, and a
preseason
lot
is
of it
always
too is they want to see these guys at the back end of the roster doing one-on-ones. Can you beat this guy if you're in a one-on-one situation? Because it's a lot. You can evaluate a guy a lot more. So there's a lot more man coverage called than zone. So if you got
that's how you can.
like if you've got a zone type of call of defense, I don't know who does the zone blitz off the top of my head right now, but like Spagnola, right? He loves the zone blitz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's still calling mans of the preseason, so the Kansas City Chiefs defense isn't going to look like anything like it's going to look like in the season because they want to test people out. They want to see what these defenders look like covering wide receivers one-on-one.
Right. And even listening to players talk, they've talked in the past about how vanilla it is in preseason because you've got guys that might not make the roster or might end up on other teams. So you also don't want to give away too much in that regard. You want to see what these guys can handle. So.
And you see all the drama with Jaden Daniels?
Yes, I was hoping we'd get into this. So I didn't see what he said. I saw that his team, I guess it came out from his family, and it sounds like his mom is suing LSU for name, image, and likeness on Jaden's behalf, which good luck. Like, what are you doing?
Well, that explains the meme. The meme I saw was Jaden Daniels' attorney, and it was his mom wearing like that, I don't know what you'd call it, jacket type of thing, kimono.
A kimono?
That has like Jaden Daniels' face all over it that she wears to the games when they're cold.
Nice.
And it's like Jaden, and here's Jaden Daniels' attorney. This is but like, this is just absolutely, you know what he's mad about? That he won a friggin' championship for LSU.
He didn't,
won a Heisman with LSU. You know who else did that? Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And then he's mad because they're letting DJ, what's his freaking name? Pickett, wear number 5 because in the recruiting progress, Lane Kiffin said, yeah, you can wear number 5. And so even Pickett's like, no, I'm not. I've worn number 5 my whole freaking career. I'm going to wear it here. That's what I was promised. So I'm not changing. And Jaden Daniels is feeling disrespected by LSU because he won a championship and a Heisman there. So he thinks his number should be retired.
He didn't win the championship, though. He only won a Heisman. And secondly, is Jaden actually mad, or is it his mom trying to get money from LSU? Because the other side of this is the timing is terrible.
Oh, it's Jaden. Because they also sent a letter to LSU stating that you can no longer use Jaden Daniels' name, likeness, or anything within your freaking on your property. Stop using it.
See, but that's what I'm saying is it came from his family and not him directly. Now I guess made a statement last night.
Man, I've seen interviews of him talking about it, saying how pissed off he is.
Bro, get over yourself. Like, you didn't make LSU. LSU made you.
Yeah, exactly.
And Joe Burrow did even better. And
you were nothing when you were with Louisville.
He was Arizona State. And from what I remember, there was issues at Arizona State where, like, I think it was his mom. I apologize if none of this was his mom. Threw his teammates under the bus and got pissed off at his teammates for helping to clear out his locker after he transferred. Like, what?
Oh, yeah, I remember that now, yeah.
And then got pissed off at his coaches and stuff. This is why, like, to me, it sounds like mom is trying to do a lot of things without Jaden's permission. If Jaden is actually mad, like, I think realistically, this could cause problems with teammates. Like, teammates want locker rooms to stay locker rooms, and this is not.
No, this is just going to happen. It make me not even like Jaden Daniels as much.
No, like, what are you doing?
Mental capacity now to be an NFL quarterback. If this is the shit you're worried about,
right? So I was listening to the Cover 3 podcast. I don't know if you ever checked them out. Great show. Check them out if you haven't. One of the things that they were talking about is looking at this, like, how are your teammates going to react, like you said? But also, if you're LSU, call their bluff. Like, take all his stuff away and see who it hurts more. Because you think it's going to hurt LSU? It's not going to hurt LSU. That's actually building Jaden Daniels' recognition and notoriety and legacy. Like, take advantage of that. And they were also saying, looking at, like, well, it might just be X and Twitter lawyers, but it sounds like they don't actually have legal ground to stand on for that.
No, they don't.
So
I don't know how they would even think they do, because he would have signed the thing that would allowed LSU through Fanatics to use his name.
Exactly.
So you've already signed it. You're already screwed. Like, and like, I don't know how the grounds would be if he's saying stop using it, if it changes the legalities, but he still signed it saying they could.
And not only that, but you also have a college team has what, 110 players? Well, you've only got 99 numbers. There's going to be repeats. Like you're not putting triple digit numbers on jerseys. You can't just be retiring any college number or not letting people have it. And dude, you've been out of college 3 years now? This is year 3, right?
Yeah. Well, look at the NFL, man. They've stopped retiring people's numbers. I know the Cardinals are going to be retiring Larry Fitzgerald's number, but unless you're top of the top, they don't even think about it anymore because they realize they're going to run out of numbers. That's why the number 0 came into effect in the NFL lately. And why they're allowing players of different positions to wear different numbers, because it's getting hard to freaking find those numbers now for people. Once you start, like you get the Dallas Cowboys, right? They got a lot of numbers retired. You need permission to wear numbers and all that sort of stuff there. It's just like their teams are just trying to avoid it now. So unless you are like a Jim Brown and Jerry Rice, like you're just not going to get your number retired anymore.
For sure. I mean, even Oklahoma, like if somebody wanted to make a case, Sam Bradford was the face of Oklahoma for a while, number 14, right? There's 2 number 14s on the team right now. I know he's been out of the league for a while, but I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing? It's a number. Why do you care?
Yep. But let's see here. We got some fun stuff. We got 5,000 passing yards in the NFL here. So they've got the best to do it is Tom Brady. He's only done it twice, though. So I just kind of disagree with how they've done this up. But because he did it on 2 teams, 2 years, they've got him as the number 1 guy. Obviously, with the Patriots, 2011 threw for 5,232, and in 2021 with the Bucks, he threw for 5,316.
And one of those was a Super Bowl year, right?
Yeah,
21. Yeah,
the Bucks
11 was that was the Randy Moss.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Where they lost the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Both Super Bowl years, just different outcomes.
Yes.
And then they got 5 guys down below who have also done it, but one never hit 5,000, so I don't even know why they got him on the list.
That's weird.
Well, Jared Goff, they got at 5 with 4,629 from 2024.
Okay.
So at number 4, we're back into the 5,000. So we got Patrick Mahomes, 5,250 in 2022. Third, they've got Ben Roethlisberger, 2018, 5,129.
Yeah, that was the crazy 675 pass attempt season.
And then second, they got Peyton Manning, 5,477 in 2013, which is the single season record.
Okay.
Which I believe he only beat because his year was after Drew Brees' number 1 year, and Drew Brees has done it 5 freaking times.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's Drew Brees on this list? He has to be number 1.
They've got him number 1, but like I said, they got Tom Brady as the ultimate 5,000 guy, and him like the second. But so he's got 2011. He had 5,476 yards, which is 1 less yard than Peyton, who did it 2 years later. So that was we need this 1 yard or whatever many yards we need it to get Peyton the record. Let's do it.
That's exactly what it was.
2012, 2013, 2014, and then 2018 is all the times that he hit over 5,000 yards.
It's just crazy the way he was able to do that. It was like clockwork.
Yeah.
Drew Brees, 5,000 yards.
All you knew about Drew Brees was that. That's why he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree completely. It's wild. So that's my question though. Why? So instead of putting Jared Goff on this list, why not just have Tom Brady on there since you have 2 technical number 1s?
Well, they got Tom Brady as the picture that they've made, Tom Brady has 3 pictures and he's like half the page of this thing.
Okay.
And it's 5,000 passing yards with multiple teams. The number 1 guy to do it because he did it with 2 teams is what they're saying is he's number 1. And then the runners up, those numbers are Drew Brees is the number 1 runner up.
Oh, so that's just okay. So what they did here then was just top passing yardage seasons, and Jared Goff has the next highest that's closest to 5,000 is my guess.
That would be my guess as well. But why not just have 4 if there's only 4 to ever do it?
Right, but I also think that off the top of my head, I feel like we've had somebody closer to 5,000 than 4,600 Goff. But I could be wrong.
Marino, I would think.
Yeah.
What did he get that 1 year?
I thought it was Super Bowl. Was it 4,800?
Let me look it up.
For some reason, 4,800 is sticking in my head.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I'll tell you what, though. I think that while you're looking that up, Jared Goff has a chance to hit 5,000 this year with all the injuries that are already happening on defense.
So he was the first quarterback in NFL history to hit 5,000 yards his rookie season with 5,084. So why don't they have him on here?
I don't know. Somebody's slacking and just looking at modern guys.
basically.
Except Tom Brady's on there too. So,
well, Tom Brady's a modern guy. Like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, they took over from Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, Joe Montana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those types of guys. So they just didn't go back far enough. But you got to have Dan Marino on there if he's the first guy to ever freaking do it. And you know how I diss Dan Marino all the time. So I 100%. Feel like Dan Marino was disrespected. I'm feeling odd now.
You know what would be fun, though? Think about how much fun Dan Marino would be in that Jared Goff Lions offense. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that would be good.
Hitting J-Mo.
Do you want to do one-year wonders or the best dynasties? We got time for one more here.
Let's go one-year wonders. That's always fun.
All right. So we got one-year wonders here done by the Red Zone Post. They do a lot of little things like this. That's pretty neat to see. So they've got Peyton Hillis as number 1 for one season wonders, which
that makes sense.
I agree with.
He even made the Madden cover. Which is crazy.
Which is insane.
Yes.
Number 2, he's got Robert Griffin, his rookie season. Obviously, it was a great season. I don't know if I'd have it number 2.
Yeah, I don't know. That's good.
There is some defensive guys on here, too. He's got Marcus Robinson for the Chicago Bears, man. And this one, seeing it hurt me so bad because in that 32-team league secret one we're in, after this season, I was offered a first-round pick for him, and I turned it down.
Oops.
Yep. Stupid. Then they got Michael Clayton of the Bucks.
Okay, I remember him. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Didn't he have a season with the Ravens too, though? Or is that a different Clayton? John Clayton?
I think that was a different one. Derek Anderson with the Browns, that one great season that he had.
Yeah, it was the Browns' last 10-win season, I think, wasn't it? They went 10-6 that year.
Did Baker never get to 10?
I don't think so. Maybe he did.
In the playoffs the one year.
Yeah.
Then we got Don Majowski from the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how to say that.
See? Such a one-year wonder. We can't even say his name because I have no idea who you're talking about.
7 is Leron McClain from the Ravens.
Oh, I remember him.
8 is Lamont Jordan from the Raiders.
Yep, don't remember that.
10 is Ickey Woods from the Bengals.
Oh, I remember him because he used to be one of my favorites to pick on Madden just because of his name. And off the edge, he had a great power move.
Plus the Ickey Woods shuffle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then lastly, they got Steve Slayton of the Houston Texans.
Oh, man, that was a fun one.
Yep.
Undrafted. I think he's the reason that people get so hyped about undrafted rookie running backs sometimes is because they can work out. But one-year wonder, didn't he have more than 1 year? I thought he had 2.
Well, he had 2, but only 1 year was a little bit better than the other one, and then he kind of fell off a little bit, and then he was gone. And then Arian Foster became a thing, who was another undrafted free agent rookie.
Yeah, because Arian Foster, you weren't taking that guy off the field. Didn't matter who you had.
Yep, for sure. But let's get in, talk some ball.
Yes, sir.
Next 5. Who would you rather have over the next 5 years in the NFL? All right, welcome to Next 5. Today, this was done by Alex going to me, so we'll just go through the names here that Alex has done. Let's call it up. So, who would we rather have the next 5 years? Alex has done wide receivers. He's given me Justin Jefferson at 27 years old, who's got a $21 million contract this year, then 49, then 53. Then he's due his second contract. Second on the list is Marvin Harrison from the Cardinals, 24, due 9.6, 11 million. Then you got to pick up his 5th year and then do a contract. Carnell Tate of the Titans, 21 on his rookie deal, which is worth 9.2, 11, 14, then 16. Then you'll have to pick up the 5th year. Zay Flowers, 26, just signed his huge deal, 8 million, 11 million, 36 million, then 37 million. CD Lamb.
Quite quickly.
What's that?
I said that escalates quite quickly.
Yep. But it's not as bad as CD Lamb, who goes for 27 years old, goes 20 million, 46 million, 25 million, 37 million.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
I thought Jerry designed that contract really weird to maybe want to look up Dak Prescott's contract to see if it's big and small on opposite years, right?
Right. Try to make room to spread things out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm taking a big black marker and just scratching it right across Zay Flowers. I
thought you might.
Yeah, I don't believe in him. I know he had a great year. You said he finished YR7, which is kind of surprising to me. I see no reason why he can't keep up those numbers. But again, he's just not a wide receiver that play style that I like to have on my team. He's just too small. I think one big hit, he's going to be done.
It's possible. I like him this year. Last year, he actually got the touchdowns. I think that the offense is going to be different. I mean, hype out of Ravens camp is crazy right now, but
that's everywhere.
Preseason. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Except for New York and Tennessee, apparently, because those coaches are saying their quarterbacks are struggling. But we'll see. So
Geno is struggling huge. But in this one here, even CeeDee Lamb's contract, I think that's just too much all over.
2035, 2036.
Yeah, like that's a lot of money tied up for a lot of years. Same with Justin Jefferson. Like,
so
they're paying $50 million a year to a wide receiver, man. Like that's just one player. That's not even the quarterback who touches the ball every game. These guys are only seeing the ball around 10 times if they're lucky a game.
And do you think that looking back now, the Vikings have any thought of maybe we shouldn't have given Jefferson that contract because of what we saw last season with how bad that quarterback position was?
I think they have some regrets, but I don't think they actually regret it.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
To be fair, like
probably like, we should have kept Cousins somehow. But I don't think they regret the Jefferson contract.
Thinking about it too, they don't actually have a GM to regret it because the GM that did it is fired.
Yeah, well, you still got the coach there that would have had to give the okay to sign that player to that big of a deal. Like, are you gonna, you know what I mean? If your GM doesn't talk to your coach and be like, "Hey, this guy wants a shit ton of money and he's worth it according to the league. Like, I'm gonna pay him." Is he gonna be part of your plans? Because I don't want to pay a guy $50 million if you're not gonna play him.
Right, and on the coach side too, though. If you're the coach, do you really care what that money costs? You just want him either on your team or not.
What the plan is for him, right? Because if it's like, he doesn't work with my system, like sign him and trade him. There's those type of stocks too, right?
Right.
So really, this comes down for two to me is Marvin Harrison Jr. and Cardinal Tate just because of the money. But you're gonna have to pay both of these guys eventually, anyways. They just happen to be on their rookie deals.
Mm-hmm. And with Marv, it's a little more projection because we haven't seen him put it all together yet. And same with Tate. Like we haven't seen. Yeah, exactly. So this is actually the first one I've given you where I didn't look at the contracts at all. I just pulled names. Usually I try to pull the contract a little bit so I can have an idea of a mix.
But
so this might have ended up easier.
I'd probably go with Marvin Harrison here, just purely based off he's on the exact trajectory as his father was, and I think he's going to explode onto the scene this year and be what we think he was. They've got Julian Love, Jeremiah Love's there to bring out, finally take some pressure off in the backfield. He can block too. Plus, you got Connors. Like they've got a good run game there.
And then with Marv's injury last year, we actually saw he now has a number 2 receiver in Michael Wilson with what he was able to do last season.
Yeah, which would take some pressure off of him as well. And you got 2 quarterbacks there that, although they're not great, they are veterans and they do like to chuck the ball on Brissett and Minshew. And I just don't believe in Ward. That to me is Tate's kryptonite, kind of like it was with Marvin when Murray was there. I just don't like that combination. So I just I might shy away from it a bit, but it's not going to shy me away from Tate. But if I get the pick, I'm going Marvin Harrison Jr.
All right. It surprised me a little bit. It's funny we mentioned.
End up with?
I thought it'd be Tate because the rookie contract and you get that 5th-year option. So essentially, his whole contract and you don't have to pay him crazy money, even though he was drafted 4 overall.
Yeah, if I had my quarterback and I just got to pick my wide receiver, it might be different. But fantasy-wise, going for the teams and who I'd rather, I think it's Marvin.
Yeah, makes sense. I get it.
That's our next 5. Stay tuned for next week when we'll do next 5 again.
All-time matchups. We take an NFL team and we give that team's all-time lineup of anybody who's ever played for that team. Which team will win?
right, welcome to All Time Lineup. And Alex picked the challenge for us today. We are doing the Cleveland Browns. So if you haven't heard of a lot of these guys, it's okay because a lot of them are before the Super Bowl era.
Yeah, I got to apologize for this one. And I will say to you Browns fans, I understand your frustration now because doing this exercise, we'll get into it, but man, I can understand now where you're coming from with the struggles of rooting for this Browns franchise.
Yeah. Well, it even just starts with the quarterback position, right? Like I know on your list you gave Otto Graham and Bernie Kosar, which Otto Graham obviously jumps out to me. But I also like Baker Mayfield. I just feel like this newer franchise and how his run gave up on Baker way too fast just to jump at the chance to get Deshaun Watson, which has really bit them in the foot.
Yeah, and I could see that for sure. I considered Baker. I don't know why I said that weird. But to me, it was just like when you think about the Browns franchise, and Otto Graham is one I think that often gets overlooked just because it was so long ago, and Bernie gets the recognition. And I think Bernie's also still done a lot with the franchise now, like before. And I just, where are you going? Like, because a lot of Baker's success came later. Where when I'm doing these, I want to think about the team, and like when I think of Baker, I don't think of the Browns anymore. I think of the Bucs.
Well, maybe, but Baker's still the first quarterback to bring them to the Super Bowl since we just talked about him earlier there, Derek Anderson.
You mean the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You said Super Bowl. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
what world are you living in, Ben?
Super Bowl tournament is what I was thinking. I was just trying to think of the team. Yeah. But yeah, Derek Anderson brought them to the playoffs, and then it was like 15 years, and then Baker brought them back to the playoffs. So Baker's still the best quarterback that they've had on that roster. But
I got a playoff win.
Yeah, and I don't know how you don't go Otto Graham though when you're thinking Browns. Running back to me, not even a debate. It's Jim Brown.
Right. So before getting into receiver, I thought about considering just going 2 RB with this team instead of 3 receiver like we have been.
Who would be your second RB? I know who I'd pick.
Nick Chubb.
I'd go Ernie Els.
Or do you go earlier? Who?
Ernie Els.
Okay.
The guy drafted to replace Jim Brown, followed him through Syracuse, just as talented. But in his first preseason as a rookie, they doing the medical, found out that he had leukemia. So he never actually played it down in the NFL.
Well, that's a good shout out, but I don't know how you could put him on an all-time list then.
Because he was that good in college. Like he was breaking Jim Brown's records at Syracuse with the same coach.
Yeah. Well, maybe, but
just from that, like if you're going the same thing in the same path as Jim Brown and you're breaking some of his records, you're up there near him. So if Jim Brown's a no contest, Ernie Els is a no contest to me as well. If I'm going RB2.
Yeah, he just didn't do it in the NFL, so maybe we do go 3 receiver.
It's a lot of future projections on what I thought he could have done, but I still think it would have been easy for him to do because he was that good. He was faster than Jim Brown too, just as tough. But there's actually a good movie out there of him too. If you don't know the story, it's a freaking awesome movie, man.
Did he? It's the same name, but I feel like there was a golfer named Ernie Els. Is it the same guy?
No, Ernie Els, the golfer's white, and Ernie Els, the football player's black.
Okay, then definitely not the same guy.
Yeah, and different eras, right? Because the one was literally after Jim Brown retired. They drafted.
Yeah, that's true.
So that brings us to the wide receiver position. You had Paul Warfield, Dante Lavallee, and Max Speedy.
And this is what I mean about
people out there don't even know.
Exactly, and this is what I mean by doing this is you're getting into the point where their best players were all prior to the merger, like before the modern Super Bowl era. So like as I was going through this,
we talked about the quarterback position.
Yeah,
we talked about Baker Mayfield, what could have been if they would have stuck with him.
Yep.
We talked about the running back position with Ernie Els, what could have been if he didn't get leukemia. And I'm going to throw out this name to you as a different name for wide receivers.
Okay.
Of another one of what could have been had the Browns not fucked things up. Josh Gordon.
That was one that actually came to mind. And after sending it, I was like, oh, I probably should have put Josh Gordon on there. I'll shout him out on the podcast. Because the other name I thought about, even though he wasn't great for the Browns, was Odell Beckham. Because he did play for them. And
another name I got is Jarvis Landry because I thought he would be perfect for the slot.
Yeah, so let's scrap these old guys and go Warfield, or do you just want to go all modern and go Gordon, Beckham, and Landry? Because I actually think those three together could work on a team.
If we get prime Odell Beckham, the Giants
Yeah, well,
Beckham, but
naturally,
the Browns Beckham wasn't that great.
And when I'm thinking these, even if we're talking about Baker was better with the Bucks than he was the Browns. So
Yeah.
I think we're talking prime players.
So I'd probably go Gordon, Landry, and Warfield, because Warfield dominated in his era.
Yeah, he did, and he was at least a Brown, so we can like the whole time, right? So we can keep one full-time Brown on there, I guess.
Yep. And then tight end, I don't think it's a debate. I think it's Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give a shout out to Keelan Winslow if we were going to, but
or if you want a 1-year wonder, Gary Barnage.
Yep, I forgot about him, man. I sold him for 2 first-round picks.
That is craziness.
After that season in the offseason to Chris.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, that brings us to the defense because we're not going to focus on offensive line. So defensive edge, obviously, we got Myles Garrett. I think he's one of the best that do this. I know he hasn't retired yet, but he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The things he's done for these Browns on these crap teams and still doing it, it's just been amazing. Other guy you got is Len Ford. That's the other guy I nailed too. There wasn't really anybody else out there.
Yeah, it was all like way back in the 50s, 60s teams. It's like, man.
Defensive tackle, you had Bill Willis and Michael something Ward.
Michael Dean Perry. That might have been a copy issue. Michael Dean Perry. He was 80s, 90s, really dominated.
So I also have Bill Wills, so I guess he's made the team. And my other one is Jeremy Schreck.
That was the other name that I had considered. So I, just for the sake of agreement, I'm fine with going Jeremy Schreck. Bill Willis, shout out. That's also my grandpa's name.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nice. That brings us to the linebackers, which Clay Matthews. Obviously, we both have him.
Yeah,
he's a no-brainer.
Senior
should be in the Hall of Fame, but he's missed his opportunity because I think the years have passed, right?
I believe so, yes. He still, I think, has a shot as like what do they call that one? The historical person or something?
But he's got to wait 10 years.
10 more years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's a waiting period to go from.
He's not past that?
No, I don't think so. He just had his thing 3 years ago or something like that.
Oh, no, this is not Packers Clay Matthews. This is his dad.
Yeah, he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Because
I know he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He was always pushing, saying that he's got numbers better than Jalen Brooks from Tampa Bay, who's in the Hall of Fame, and always comparing it and trying to get him in. And then he had his last year to get in, and he never made it. So now he's got to do that waiting period to get to the historic stuff.
For some reason, I was thinking that was the young Clay Matthews, not dad.
No, he's never even been up, I don't think.
Young Clay Matthews?
Yeah. I don't think his career was good enough to be Hall of Fame. Like, I know he dominated for a bit, but I don't think it's Hall of Fame.
Well, I guess that's one we maybe should look at again.
But yeah, linebackers kind of dropped right off. We both have Jackson. That's how much it dropped.
Yeah, that was the first one that I could actually remember. That was like, well, yeah, I mean, he had a solid career.
No, he was decent. He wasn't great, but he was decent.
Right.
And then you had Jim Houston, and I had Dick Ambrosi.
Okay. Ambrose is another name that popped up. I ended up going the other way with Jim Houston. But either way, like you said, man, linebackers, as we're doing these teams, there's only some that actually value the position.
Yeah.
We've struggled with a couple
these
teams.
Exercises too, you can really see which franchise value which positions. Because they'll stick with it over years. And like the Bengals, they surprised me, right? Last week with our last episode when we did them, like, wow, they've got 5 good quarterbacks you could choose from here actually and make a case for. It's Joe Burrows, but you can make a case for these other 4. And then Cleveland, you're just like, wow, I see why you're so shit for so many years. You haven't been able to draft for 30 plus years. And I realize you were in a league for 10, but still, come on. But by this point, you're past that new franchise type of thing after 5 years. You should be on the track, but you're not. Brings us to cornerback. You had Joe Hayden and Denzel Ward.
Yeah, 2 of the more common era.
But then you also had Denzel Ward at safety. So I got
That was
And
TJ Ward.
Oh, TJ Ward. Okay.
Yeah.
So you
There's
got
2 Wards on that
TJ
defense.
Ward.
Mhm.
We both have Denzel Ward at safety, and you've got Tim Duncan at safety, and I got Bobby Franklin because he was a hard hitting safety. I freaking love those. And at cornerback, I've got Frank Minford.
Oh, Miniford?
Yeah.
Okay, he popped up for me too. I just went more modern to try to get some modern guys in here, and Joe Hayden and Denzel Ward were both locked down man-to-man guys. So good luck passing on the defense, especially with TJ Ward in the backfield.
Let's go TJ Ward and Bobby Franklin at safety then.
I'm good with that.
All right, so that makes our team at quarterback. We got Otto Graham. Running back was no contest with Jim Brown. Wide receiver, we're going Josh Gordon, Jarvis Landry, and Paul Warfield. Tight ends, obviously, Ozzie Newsome. At defensive edge, we're not leaving off Myles Garrett, and he's going to be paired up with Len Ford. Defensive tackle, we got Jeremy Schreck and Bill Willis. Linebackers, we've got Clay Matthews Sr., DeQuell Jackson, and Dick Ambrosi. Cornerback, we got Joe Hayden, Denzel Ward, or TJ Ward, sorry. Safety, we got Denzel Ward and Bobby Franklin.
Oh, we got those safeties backwards. Denzel's a corner, TJ's the safety.
Oh, all right.
But either way, same result. The team looks a little better than I expected, but again, like I said, it's just I think it looks better because we replaced the receivers with more modern guys. But man, hopefully in the future, say we do this 10 years from now, I think it's going to look a lot different because their drafts have been better over the last few years.
Yeah, time will tell.
Yep.
They got to get that quarterback position. Until you get that, it's going to be hard to get anything to go, right?
Yep,
so,
sure is.
That's how we see the Browns' all-time lineup. All right, we are into camp battles. I forgot to do up an intro for that, so that's why we're just heading straight into it. All right, so what do we got here? We'll call up Alex's camp battle and what he's watching. So for Alex, what he's got here that he's watching, he's just got rooms. So he's got the Falcons QB room, the Browns QB room, the Cardinals RB2, the Steelers RB room, the Jaguars RB and wide receiver room.
Yeah, so let me break it down a little bit. But Falcons, obviously the quarterback position, is it going to be Tua or is it going to be Penix? I think it's going to be Tua's job because I just think Penix looked so overwhelmed at times, and learning a new offense, I'm not sure is going to help him. But with Stefanski, I guess you never really know because who's he going to favor? Is he going to be giving Tua the wrong wristband again?
Well, not to mention Penix isn't even going to be ready to go onto the field for preseason games until the last one. So he's only got 1 week of actual practice that he'll be able to get in before this decision's made.
And the other reason I think this is kind of interesting is with Tua's skill set, I feel like it doesn't really match what Stefanski wants to do either, right? Because Tua's that timing quarterback. Not so much Stefanski is. What's that?
So is Penix. Like, they're both timing guys.
Yeah.
They're both left-handed. At least they got the same quarterback.
Right.
So they do go with Tua when he gets hit and goes out with the game. You can just throw in Penix and not lose much.
Yep. Is he going to go get Dylan Gabriel too, since that's his guy?
He might as well. I don't see him staying on the Browns roster.
Yeah. And then the Jags RB room is one that we've all kind of talked about. It's going to be about valuable position, but which one is going to win that job? The community seems to think it's going to be Bashal Tutin because of the upside, right, with the speed. I know you're on Chris Rodriguez with the coaching familiarity there. And then in their wide receiver room, I just want to see the rotation. Like, we keep getting Parker Washington hype, but is it really possible he's going to overtake Brian Thomas Jr. as that first round pick and 6'2", 230 running 4.3? Like,
Parker Washington's more of a slot guy too.
Right. So it's interesting to see. And then Travis Hunter, just how much offense is he going to play? Because I think when you are putting him on offense, you have to assume he's getting the ball, because otherwise, why are you putting him out there?
Well, you got to have a package of plays for him, right? So say it's 15 plays on offense he's going to do. Then you got to have him out there 30 times at least on offense.
Yeah, because you also don't want to telegraph to the defense, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just for that point. So all right. Well, we'll move on to my camp battles. So for me, I've also got the Falcons QB room with Tua and Penix. I don't know what Penix is going to be able to do with 1 week of actual full-on practice, but I don't see Tua as being too hard to beat. So if you give him Penix a chance, it's going to come down to the wire there. Then I got the Browns, obviously, with Watson and Sanders. They've named Watson the starter for this upcoming preseason game that's going to happen, but that doesn't mean that Sanders isn't going to get a start as well.
Well, they named Sanders for game 2 already. I'm not sure if you had seen that.
Oh, no,
so
I didn't.
They're going to alternate.
So exactly what I was saying. So that's just a pure quarterback battle. You got one guy on the decline and the other guy hopefully on an upcline, or he just doesn't have it, right? Like if you can't beat out Watson, you just don't have it in my mind. But I think Sanders is going to win that. The other one I'm watching is just Mendoza versus Cousins. I expect Cousins to start, but I want to see in these preseasons and all these sort of joint practices and that, can Mendoza make a push to make a case for a week 1 starter?
Right. I would agree with that. And sounds like some of the throws last night, so he might.
Yeah, he could. Then I got the Steelers, Rico versus Jalen Warren. Neither one of them played last night. I expect Rico to come away with this. He just, like I've said it on past episodes, he just works too good in that McCarthy system that I just don't see it going any other way.
Well, and that's like I was saying too, is what does Jalen Warren do better? Because Dowdle's a better pass blocker, and he's actually been more efficient with his passing, and he's bigger to run between the tackles. So what exactly does Jalen Warren do better? Is it speed?
Maybe speed, but I think Rico's got speed. He punched out some long games there for the Cowboys and for the Panthers.
Well, not just that, but with the running back position, good vision can be better than having speed.
Yeah, for sure. Then for the Eagles, I'm watching the defensive edge or outside linebacker, however you want to call it, Jalix Hunt, who was one of my sleepers, and Nolan Smith. And I expect Hunt to win this one. I know he struggled as a rookie, but now you got a year under your belt. I expect him to come out with that edge rush spot.
See, I'm on that Nolan Smith side because I have him in a couple of IDP leagues, but he also put together an awesome postseason last year.
Yeah, we'll see. So, the Eagles are rich everywhere.
Yeah, except at receiver right now, because don't they have a bunch of injuries still? I know Lemon hasn't been playing.
Receiver rooms overall.
Have you seen the stories coming out about Stowers from Eagles camp over on that?
Nope.
They're saying he looks lost. Not picking up the offense, just has not put it together. Not looking good right now. But again,
he was
week 1 of preseason.
He was one of my busts. Hey, they bitched about Jamar Chase not being able to catch balls too in a preseason.
Exactly.
So, all right, then I'm going.
He can't
to
see the bow.
And their wide receiver room, man. Have you looked at this wide receiver room completely?
Oh, it's crazy.
So
I know
Malik Nabers obviously is going to be the wide receiver 1, but with the knee, is he going to be ready week 1? We don't know. After him, you've got either Calvin Austin, Darius Slayton, or Darnell Mooney going to be on the other side, or maybe both 2 of those starting. You've got Jalen Hyatt, Odell Beckham, Malachi Fields, who they just drafted, and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Man, I did not know they also brought in Juju. What are we doing?
I didn't either until I was like looking it up, seeing like, who else do they got there? And I saw Juju, and he's like listed as the 8th or 9th on the Giants official depth chart right now.
Well, doesn't that mean one of Juju and Odell has to make the team?
Or none.
Well, can it be none? How many receivers are you going to keep? 6, usually?
6 is usual number. So you got Calvin Austin, Slayton, Mooney, Nabers. There's 4. Malachi Fields is 5. So you got to you keep Hyatt, Odell, or Juju. And like, do you really want to keep? It depends what Odell you get, right? Because like he could be a great players coach, but is he ready for that?
And is he in the mindset for that? Yeah.
I don't think Juju would have the respect as a veteran player to listen to. You know what I mean?
Right. He might. I
don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think just because.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
so cold after that one big rookie year with Antonio Brown on the other side.
Right. Yep. And then he had a couple okay seasons with Kansas City, but it was like he wasn't a fantasy starter by any means, just more valuable for football.
Yep. Man, then the last thing I'm watching is the Dolphins wide receiver room because, like the Giants, it is just wide open for different reasons, obviously, but who knows who's going to come away with that? You just got to take your guy, hope he friggin' wins the job, and see what he can do when the season comes because all of them are like throwing darts there in the Dolphins room.
Yeah, just like the Giants wide receiver too, which I didn't get into it too much, but you could also put the Falcons wide receiver 2 on there too. After Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, and then when you're looking at receiver, they brought in Jahan Dotson. They drafted Zachariah Branch. There's another veteran they brought in, but their receiver room at the wide receiver 2 spot is also wide open. That's why I think it's just going to be Bijan and Pitts and London, and maybe you'll get some flex weeks out of somebody else.
Maybe, but if Pitts or London goes down, they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but that's what we're watching in camp battles. We'll keep this one going for as long as the preseason's going, so stay tuned for next episode.
Time for the Grape Light, where we discuss what's happening around the league.
All right, welcome to the Grape Light in a new weird spot today because we messed up a little, but that's all right. So
got a little ahead of
off
ourselves.
here
That's all.
with some news coming out of Minnesota. They have named their starter. Mini Kyler Murray has been named their starting quarterback for the season. How do you feel about that?
So when I was talking Tua and the Stefanski mix, this is the see, now you've got me confusing the Kevins. This is actually the mix I thought didn't match at all. So Kevin O'Connell is that timing, rhythm, passing offense, and Kyler is the schoolyard run around until somebody breaks free quarterback. So those two do not match at all.
No.
So which one's going to give, I think, is the question. I'm a little surprised it was so early.
That's
But
what
at
I'm
the same-
surprised about. And like I told you off air, I'm wondering if they told him so early to see if he gets comfortable and then stop studying the playbook.
That's entirely possible. The other side of it, I think, as the positive, is that he's now getting all the first team reps to build that rapport with his team, which I think is a good thing. And that's the downside to these quarterback battles is sometimes you're building chemistry in season because you just haven't had as many reps with guys. So it's good on that front, but also interesting because, like, what does that mean for JJ? Is he just done? Or is this one of those situations where you start the veteran and then gradually move to the rookie again?
Yeah, I could see that because I just don't see Kyler Murray working out, man.
It's just like, how long is O'Connell going to be able to deal with him just running around and not staying in the system, right?
Yeah, be interesting. We also have this one surprises me. Terrion Arnold worked out for a bunch of teams. A lot of teams showed interest in him, but he plans on signing with the Seahawks. What the hell are you doing? Like, the guy has like 8 kidnapping charges on him and a whole bunch of other felonies.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the NFL isn't going to do anything to him this year because he's pled not guilty, and we still need the court cases to come, which will probably be all after the season. So whatever he's going to get is going to be next year. But I believe this will be the last season of Terrion Arnold in the NFL because there's no way he doesn't get prison time.
Well, I'm surprised that a team would even do this, right?
Especially a Super Bowl team. Let's bring in a guy that's just going to fuck up our locker room and bring distraction.
Right. And like that's the other part of it is like the evidence seemed from when we went through it, the evidence seemed pretty overwhelming. Like the event happened in February and they waited until last month, 2 months ago to actually file, which means they gathered the evidence first to build a case and then give it to a judge. Like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like I would say he's pretty much done. Like I said, the NFL can't do anything until the court case is done. So, yeah, I guess technically he could sign somewhere, but I don't know why you'd want to sign him. We've got Kansas City Chiefs have signed Emmanuel Agbuga to a 1-year deal.
Oh, Agba? The guy that used to play for the Bills? Man, he's another guy that played for the Browns, had some pretty decent years with the Browns, and then he went to Pittsburgh for a year and was okay. It's just I didn't know he was still in the league, so good for him.
Yeah. He's been bouncing around, being a nice depth piece for people because he's good enough to be in the NFL still, just not a starter.
Right. Good depth
Then
piece.
we got the Carolina Panthers have signed Darren Waller to a 1-year contract to bring him in to help that tight end room.
I saw this one and I was like, what?
Yeah,
I guess.
You didn't see how that exploded for the Dolphins with Mike McDaniels, and you just want to do it now?
I mean, he scored touchdowns at least, I guess.
Got to be a player coach, right?
That That's what I'm thinking. And they do need tight end help because they drafted JT Sanders, who hasn't really worked out.
They got Evan Mitchell, who's another rookie.
That's
Tommy
the other one.
Tremble.
Tremble's been on that team for like ever, it seems like.
Yep.
Just even given opportunity, hasn't done anything. I think at one point they had Ian Thomas, who people thought would be a guy. Nothing. I think part of it is just like, well, your quarterback.
They haven't had a coach that can use a tight end either.
That too. And I was just thinking Canales, even in Tampa, like Cade Otton had a couple games, but he wasn't like a feature. It was just an afterthought, like, oh, hey, this team is not great against tight ends. Let's use them a couple times.
Yeah,
so
just crazy.
It's weird. Have fun picking them up. I don't want any interest.
And we already said that Deshaun Watson is going to be named the starter for the first game. And you said Sanders the next game.
Yep.
And then we got a Pittsburgh. Elandon Roberts signs a 1-year deal to return with the Steelers at the linebacker position.
Yeah, and I like that signing. He had some good time filling in last year when Highsmith got hurt. So bring him back. I like it.
And then last thing we got is UCLA has brought David Carr in as an advisor role for them.
All right.
So I guess that's to help, what's his name? Emmanuel, that Velis guy, who's the quarterback there.
Is it Nico Iamalova? Or
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But
makes sense.
That's what we got for the news. Now that you got the grapes, go make the wine.
Fantasy Light.
Welcome to Fantasy Light. Today we will be focusing on the mid-round selection picks, picks 5 through 8. So let's get into that. We'll call up Alex's little list here on what he likes. So for Alex, if he's got picks 5 to 8 in round 1, he's hoping for JSN, Ahmad St. Brown, or Ashton Gianti.
Yep. James Cook and Christian McCaffrey are both going in that range, and McCaffrey is still not practicing, which, did you catch that? They're not saying what it is, just tightness.
Yeah, well, that was last year too.
Yeah, but it was also 2 years ago when they're like, oh, he's going to be healthy and then miss 10 games.
Yeah, but so you don't know which one to believe right now.
Exactly. So
but
not messing with that.
We have like no running back depth after him, just a bunch of young guys that have showed promise.
Well, and some of those are hurt too. Isn't Garendo on the IR still? And then, just good. Jordan James broke a rib.
Yep. we're going to be ended up with who'd this guy that old guy Black? We had, Patrick whatever his name is.
Oh,
last night too. Like we still got him on our Patrick Taylor.
Yeah, blue eyes.
Yeah, we still got him on our roster.
So that's crazy.
Round 2, Alex is looking at AJ Brown, Brock Bowers, Kenneth Walker III, or Barkley.
Yes, and crazy enough, I was looking at ADP before we came back on. Do you know AJ Brown's ADP is now up to 19?
Are you serious?
According to Fantasy Data, which is the one that I used. Yep. Up to 19, which is crazy.
That is nuts.
Like, I like him in the mid to late second, but 19, shoot. That's early.
I'm not taking him that early, especially with Dobbs on the other side. He's no slouch.
Right.
And Drake May isn't the type to get focused on a one wide receiver, too.
Well, I'll say, playing devil's advocate, I'm not sure about that because he hasn't had that guy yet. And A.J. Brown's also a guy that's going to demand the ball. I mean, we saw
so is Dobbs, man. They both bitch about not getting the ball.
Yeah, the difference is, though, like, I feel like at least with Dobbs, you can be like, man, you don't even always do something when I give you the ball. So, you know what I mean? Like, Dobbs has kind of just been that guy. Even when he does get targets, he doesn't always do something with it. He scored touchdowns.
I think every time he's gotten the chance, he's proved himself with Green Bay, as far as I'm concerned. I think Green Bay and Matt LaFleur did freaking horrible with him. Too focused on Christian Watson and Golden and Reed. But I always thought Dobbs was the best there. Yeah, and don't forget, Dobbs signed a 4-year, $120 million contract, so he's going to get the ball.
4-year, 120?
Yeah.
Was it that high?
Yeah, like he got paid. Him and A.J. Brown are making about the same amount of money.
Well, it's going to be A.J. Brown, though. That's my thought.
Well, yeah, but I still think that Drake May, just with his play style, because even when he was in North Carolina, he spread the ball around even when he had those wide receivers.
Yeah.
Round 3, you're looking Malik Nabbers, Brees Hall, Zay Flowers, or Amika Ibuka.
Yeah, and Ibuka, I mentioned this off air. I just recently saw that he left practice with a toe injury yesterday. So they're saying not serious and might miss a few days of practice. They're talking days, not weeks. So as long as he's fine by, I'd say at least a week before the season. I just don't want my guys having their warm-up period happening during week 1, which is also where Luther Burden, he's not on my list anymore because of that groin injury. I think it's groin, right?
Yeah, his was a groin. Groins and toes linger, man. Same with the hamstring. Those soft tissues, they just last all season.
Yeah, I don't want that during preseason.
So round 4, you've got Garrett Wilson, Ladd McConkey, Colson Loveland, or Cam Scatterby.
Yep, and I like all these guys in this range too. And Loveland's one of those situations. If I don't get Bowers, I'm okay with Loveland. If I don't get Loveland in the 4th because somebody picks him earlier, I'm fine waiting on tight end. Tight end's one of those later, great or late for me.
Yep, I'm the same way. So we'll switch over to my list. I went a little longer into the rounds because we're basically starting you out with your team, and then you pick your guys after round 4 is how I always look at these. Like, solidify your roster with the first 5 after that and go get your guys because the board doesn't matter. So round 1, if a running back falls, Bijan, Gibbs, who's the third guy there?
Chase, Puka are the top 4 picks right now.
All right. Well, if one of the running backs falls, I'm going to pick them because they're just so hard to get. Otherwise, I'm going Jamar Chase or JSN.
Is Chase there? He's been going like 1, 2, 3.
Well, this Chase would be there. Like I'm thinking if I'm pick 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a chance for Chase.
Yeah, maybe.
And JSN there. But if not, then I'm probably like I don't know. If both those running backs go and these two go, I'd probably go Puka. And if I'm in the back end over there, man, you got to flirt with Barkley.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
Did you see also? I don't think we mentioned this. Did you see Puka has a chance to still be suspended for his off the field stuff?
Yeah, I meant to bring that up, which is just crazy. I don't even know.
Especially,
he hasn't said what he did, but whatever he did was while he was drinking, put him into the rehab.
It was when he bit that girl. So he apparently bit his girlfriend, and then there was anti-Semitic remarks was the other part that I saw. I'm not sure what was said. I don't know if it's a video. But the part that's interesting about it is they said that he can still face suspension, but they already cleared Rashee Rice, which makes no freaking sense to me.
Yeah.
They said, oh, he already served his time because he went to jail. No, that was his legal time. What about the NFL?
Yeah, exactly. Just fucking stupid. Tells you that Kansas City Chiefs are paying out.
Yeah, just crazy.
Round 2, I'm looking Jonathan Taylor, Amika Ibuka, or Omar Hampton.
Yep, I like those. I don't know if they'd be there. I think somebody'd have to fall, right? Just because those are mostly early round 2 picks.
Jonathan
they might be
Taylor
using
would
different
be there
data
for sure, and he'd be my number 1 target.
Would you consider taking him in the 1st if you were at like pick 8?
I would.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best running backs in the league.
Oh, I agree.
Just hasn't had an all-around team. Like, look at how well he was doing when Daniel Jones last year actually had a passing game going, and he opened up those fields. Like, he was on his way to 2,000 yards.
Well, I meant to ask you, too, with that Colts game, did Jones play at all? I know he's been clear for practice.
He's not playing any preseason. They've already said that.
That's kind of interesting. You'd think you want to get him back in there a little bit, right?
Well, they also don't want to rush him either because he was mid-season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just he's full practice and everything, clear for contact. So thought you might want to get his feet wet a little bit, I guess.
So for me, for round 3, I've got Jaden Daniels, A.J. Brown, but if he's jumped up that high onto the
second
ADP, he's not going to be there. And then I got Brees Hall as my 3rd option there.
Yeah, so we're both on Brees.
Yeah.
So is Jaden your QB1 then if you're looking at him in the 3rd?
He's not my QB1. I don't think he won't be many people's QB1, but he's just a guy that he's in my top 5, so I just think he'll be there. Like Josh Allen, obviously going to be up there. Drake May's. It's between Josh Allen and Drake May right now, the top 2. And then however it goes after that is just anybody's game, right? So I'm assuming that those 2 go in the 2nd round. So in the 3rd round, I'd be looking at Jaden Daniels and being all right with that. And then if I didn't get Jaden Daniels, that's where in the 4th round I'm looking at Caleb Williams, Waddle, And then I look at Tyler Warren if I want a top end tight end in the round 4.
Yeah, Warren and Loveland are both going in the 4th, which is where I like the value on both of those guys, like you're mentioning. We're both on Brees, which I also like, and you got to love that they're saying he's going to be more of a feature back.
Yeah, he should have been all along.
Yeah.
I got round 5s and 6 on here as well. So I got Quayshawn Junkins in round 5, ETN from the Saints, and Brian Thomas Jr. from Jacksonville.
Yep, I like all those picks too. ETN in the 5th seems like a killer value.
Oh, yeah, big time. Then in the 6th, if I missed out on those 2 quarterbacks, I'm looking at Bo Nix. I want one of these 3 running backs, though. So I'm coming away with a running back in round 3, 4, or 6. If I already got my quarterback, then I'm looking DJ Moore or Cam Scatterbo.
In the 6th?
Yeah.
All right. Is he falling that far?
It's just the injury, right?
Yeah, it's just that.
So we're getting into these seasonal type of drafts. So, yeah, he's kind of falling because he's not going to be there at the beginning of the seasonal, which hurts him, right? Dynasty
I thought he was. Isn't he playing?
Early. He's
practicing. Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to play. We'll see.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me because he is a meathead.
That's true. He is that. Oh, speaking of, you know how he did that backflip and stumbled and everybody made a whole big deal about it?
Yep.
All right. So apparently at joint practices the other day, Marshawn Lloyd scored a touchdown. You know, the guy that's always hurt in Green Bay?
Yep.
And he did a backflip and landed it perfectly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so obviously get yourself some Marshawn Lloyd.
They may need him depending on what happens with Josh Jacobs and that crazy friggin' off-field scandal.
Yeah, and he's actually hurt right now too. So at least they don't have to worry about that too much. It's a hamstring, I think.
Jeez. Well, that's our fantasy thoughts on drafting from the mid-round selections. Next episode, we'll be talking the early selections. So stay tuned for that.
Prediction time. What do we see? How do we see it? Do we see the future or do we not?
All right, welcome to our NFL prediction segment, and today we are talking AFC South. So we'll call up Alex's predictions here. So for Alex, he's got the Texans finishing in first, the Jaguars in second, the Colts in third, and the Titans in fourth. And I found it interesting going through our camp battles that one of the things you're watching is the Jaguars RB room and wide receiver room. Knowing that you had them in second, and I'm going, what are we doing here? Explain yourself, Alex. Explain yourself.
So I'm watching it because there's so much talent. I want to know which ones are going to come to the top of that list. But I trust Liam Cohen. I think that defense got better. And I think it's the talent of the offense that is making me watch it. Not because I think somebody sucks or who's going to win. It's because I think the talent is higher end. And I'm wondering which one is going to be better.
Well, who do you got? They got Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter sparingly, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers. Who's after that?
Well, those are the 4 that you need, and then you got 2 running back, or you got your 2 tight ends. In the rookies they drafted, in Koziel is the pass catching guy, and then Borkature is going to help them with the blocking, which is another aspect. I think the offensive line takes a step forward, and I've told you before offline, I think this is the year that we actually see Trevor Lawrence put it all together. Year 2 in the Liam Cohen offense and that talent around him. It might drop off after those 4, but assuming those 4 stay healthy, because I don't like to predict injury, that's a pretty good rotation you got going on there.
Yeah, well, you put Trevor Lawrence as your top quarterback. I couldn't do that because I haven't seen back-to-back years with Trevor Lawrence yet, even though I love him. I hope it friggin' happens. He's great friggin' talent. He's had to overcome the Urban Meyer and Doug Peterson friggin' fiascos, which are 2 coaches I wouldn't have hired for him to begin with.
Right.
Your top running back, you got Jonathan Taylor at the Colts. Top wide receiver, you got Brian Thomas Jr. at the Jaguars. Top tight end, you got Tyler Warren at the Colts. And your top rookie is Carnell Tate.
Yes. So the other side of this, I think the Texans have the best defense, and I still think CJ Stroud is going to have a better season than he did last year. When you start getting those receivers they drafted last year in Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel getting another year in the offense, you add a running back in David Montgomery, which is going to be better than anything they had in that backfield last year, I think. So that team is going to take a step forward. The Colts, we talked about it, is Daniel Jones. Like, how healthy is he? Does he have a ramp-up period? and I still don't trust their defense, even though I think it'll be improved. And Tennessee, I think they'll be better than last year, but
long way to go.
yes.
Because that's what I think too. Is like, can these Titans move up at all with Sounder Salah? Not this year.
Right. Right. I think they'll be better, but better is still kind of like some of these other teams, right? Like Vikings might be better than last year, but probably still worse than the division. Cardinals might be better than last year, but still probably worse than the division.
Yep.
Jets might be better, but also probably still worse than the division. Or Dolphins, I guess. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll call up my list here.
Mm-hmm.
So for my projections, I have the Texans finishing number 1 in the division.
Yep. We're same there.
Yep. Too good of a defense. I think they fixed up their line. I think C.J. Stroud does a lot better. They're able to move the ball around. They've got those young wide receivers now coming into their second year to kind of get their team developed that DeMeco Ryans wants, developing these guys, and they're kind of getting away from the vets. Second, I got the Colts. I think Daniel Jones comes back, struggles slowly at first, but then gets back to what he was before he got injured. Third, I get the Jaguars. Fourth, I have the Titans, just because I just don't see them beating any of these other 3 teams. Not that I don't think they'll improve from last year. Same with you, right? But just don't see them better than them. So my top quarterback, I got C.J. Stroud. I think he just comes back to that rookie form that he had because he's finally going to have time again, going to be able to pick off defenses, and with his defense as well, they're just going to run the ball a lot and pass efficiently. Like, I just see a really well-run team. Like they could be 10-0, and it wouldn't surprise me going like midway point in the season because they're just strong everywhere.
Yeah, I just want to see that offensive line first.
Yep, and that's the only difference we have. I got top running back Jonathan Taylor, top wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., top tight end Tyler Warren, top rookie Carnell Tate.
Yep. Do you think there's any MVP candidates in this league division?
If there is, it'll be a surprise one like C.J. Stroud or Trevor Lawrence.
That's what I was thinking. Like if there is, it's a surprise and it's one of the 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I do have as one of my bold predictions here. I've got Daniel Jones will be up for comeback player of the year, continuing from last year after a slow start.
I'm laughing because you literally just took that out of my mind because I was thinking other awards, comeback player, Daniel Jones, and then you said it. So same pace there.
On my list, man. So, but yeah, you got 3 decent teams in this division. One really good team because I think the Texans are top 3 team going into this offseason. Then the Colts and the Jaguars could surprise them because they're in division and they've got talented teams as well, and they'll be fighting for playoff spots, barring injuries and all that. And then the Titans, I think, are just going to struggle again. But it's how much improvement do you see with Cam Ward under the new coaching staff?
Yeah, exactly. And just for fun here, what do you think the Titans' record is in the division? I think they could steal one from Jacksonville and maybe the Colts. Maybe
I'd have to see when they play them, because if they play the Colts early, then I would say they win that one. But I don't see them beating the Texans at all. Going 0-2 against the Texans, and they have a chance to beat the Colts and the Jaguars at least once. I don't see them winning both. I mean,
if you go 3-3 in your division, you got to be thrilled, right? Get each team once.
But I think that would be more like 2-4.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You're lucky.
Yep.
So, but that's our predictions for the AFC South Division. Stay tuned for next episode. Hope you guys all enjoyed it, and talk to you later.